There's something curious about life, isn't there? How everything that happens seems random at first. But when you really look back, you can begin to see how every piece fits together, how every experience has taught you something that no one else could have given you, and how it prepared you for this exact moment. Because there's no wasted experiences, only pieces waiting to connect, waiting for you to see them differently. And some lessons, they come wrapped in pain, but those are the ones that stay with you, aren't they? The ones that shape you in ways you didn't understand at the time, but you're starting to understand it now. Not because anyone told you, but because something inside already knows. And here's the truth, you were never broken. You were just learning how strong you really are. See, people, they love to talk about strength, like it's something you earn by fighting, by toughing it out. But real strength, your strength, comes from something else entirely. It comes from softness, from knowing you can feel everything and survive. You already have, haven't you? You've been through it, and here you still are, still breathing, still standing. You never had to be tough. You were just told you did. Told to hold it in, told not to cry, told to wipe away your tears because feeling was somehow wrong. But what if it wasn't? What if the tears were the way through? What if you didn't wipe them away, but let them come, let them pour out of you, washing everything clean? And in that release, something amazing happens. You let go of carrying it alone. The part of you that's always protected you can finally rest. Because you don't need the armor anymore. You can set it down and step into the world lighter, freer. No longer held by the expectations you never agreed to in the first place. Just think about it. Whose rules were those anyway? The belief that you had to be perfect, that you had to keep it all together, that you weren't allowed to feel. Those beliefs, they weren't yours. They were given to you, passed down like old hand-me-down clothes that never quite fit. And the people who gave them to you, they didn't even realize they were doing it. They were just doing the best they could, or what they knew at the time. And now you know something different. You see it clearly now. They didn't know what they didn't know. They weren't wrong. They just weren't finished learning yet. And that means you don't have to carry their old stories anymore. You can rewrite your own. Because your past isn't you. It's just a collection of recordings, imperfect memories that change every time you remember them. A slightly different version each time. And if they change anyway, why not change them on purpose? Why not create a version of the past that sets you free, instead of holding you down? Imagine it now, that old memory that used to hurt, getting softer, smaller, easier. The colours fading, the sounds becoming distant, like a movie playing far in the background, until it's just a shadow. When you breathe, it dissolves completely, because you've already lived through it once. You don't have to live through it again. In fact, the only thing that memory was waiting for was permission to go. And as you let it go, something else fills that place it leaves behind. Something warm, light and powerful. Your own strength, your own love, your own voice saying, I'm allowed to heal now. I'm allowed to be free. I'm allowed to live fully, without waiting for anyone else to change. And the truth is, they don't need to. You don't need anyone else to find their peace for you to find yours. You don't need anyone else to let go for you to move forward. It's all happening for you now. You can almost feel it clicking into place, can't you? That soft, steady shift. Like something old falling away, revealing something bright and new underneath. And you notice how natural it feels to leave behind the old expectations. Stop waiting for people to be different. Stop punishing yourself for something you couldn't control. Because you've carried that long enough to learn what it needed to teach you. And now you can set it down. And as you do, something changes in the way you look at the world. You start to see the preciousness in everything. The messy, imperfect, beautiful way that life unfolds. Teaching you exactly what you need to know. Exactly when you need to know it. And from here, it all makes sense. If life were perfect, you wouldn't have learned anything. You wouldn't have grown. you wouldn't have become who you are now. And who you are now is more than enough. Not because someone said so, not because you earned it, but because you've always been enough. Even when you doubted it, even when you forgot, even when you were carrying all that weight, trying to be everything for everyone else, you were still enough. And now you're free to feel that fully, to take a deep breath and step forward into a life that feels lighter, brighter, a life where you're allowed to heal as quickly as you want, a life where you see every challenge as just another step closer to the person you're always meant to be. And here's the secret. That healing is already happening right here, right now. You don't have to wait for it. It doesn't take 10 days, 10 years, 10 lifetimes. It's already begun. And it keeps unfolding moment by moment as your mind continues to work on this even when you're not thinking about it, with every breath you take and every beat of your heart. Because that is what your mind does. It knows exactly what to do. And every day from this point forward, you notice something new. A little more peace, a little more lightness, a little more space to breathe. It's already happening. And you're ready to enjoy it.